Once upon a time, there were two sisters who lived with their parents in a small village called Iwu. The younger sister, named Ayin, was beautiful, kind, gentle, and intelligent. The elder sister, named Ngozi, was also very beautiful, but she was mischievous and adventurous. Their father was the village chief, and their mother was a trader. The parents loved their daughter equally, but Ayim was their favorite. They gave her the best clothes, the best food, and the best education. Ayim, on the other hand, was a very beautiful and intelligent young girl who loved smiling. People loved her as she was always preserved by people more than Ngozi. Ayim was intelligent in school than Ngozi. This made her parents even love her more because it became so jealous of Ayim. She tried so much to copy Ayim, who has a better and unique way of doing things, but it wasn't just working for her. As a result of all this, she hated Ayim with passion. Ngozi and Ayim became serious rivals because she could instigate her friends to see Ayim as a bad person, because she could frame up lies against Ayin and conspire with her friends to heap lies and exaggerate her wrongs so that her mom could hate Ayin and begin to love her more. One day, Ngozi stole necklace, earring, and different ornaments from her mom's jewelry box and placed it inside Ayim's bag. When her mom began to look for them, goes in, lied to her mom and told her that she saw Ayim stealing from her jewelry pot. Her mom didn't believe Ngozi at first, but after so much pressure from Ngozi to search Ayim's bag, they found the jewelries there. Ayim was beaten for the crime she never committed and was left under the rain to cry her eyes out. It gives Ngozi joy to see her mom beat and scold Ayim for things she did not do. Despite all that, things always work out for Ayim, and wherever she goes, people love her easily. Ngozi felt that their parents did not love as much as they loved Ayim. She saw Ayim as a competitor and a challenge to herself. But one day, thus she decided to get revenge on Ayim. She went to the village witch doctor and asked him to cast a spell on Ayim. She said, "All I seek that you give me something to finish my sister. All I have ever desired and wanted, she has. She has been a very big challenge to me. Give me something to snap out her life." The witch doctor replied her with a question. "Young lady, are you sure this is what you want?" And Ngozi replied, "Yes, that is what I desire." The witch doctor gave Ngozi a portion, telling her to put it into Ayim's food and she should make sure that Ayim eats the food. The next day, she added the portion into Ayim's food and brought the food for Ayim to eat. Ayim, who had nothing in mind, was so happy that her sister has begun to love her again. She ate the food without knowing that the food has been poisoned by her own sister Ngozi. Ngozi watched as her sister ate the food with contempt and hate. She was happy that her sister was finally going to die. 2 days after Ayim ate the poisonous food, suddenly she started to feel strange. She became weak day by day and dizzy. She could not walk or talk. They took her to the same witch doctor that has given Ngozi the poison she gave to her sister, but when they got there, he told them he could not help her. He said that the only way to break the spell was to find the person who had cast it. They asked Ngozi if she knew who had cast the spell, but she denied it. She said, "I love my sister so much and I could never do anything to hurt her." But their parents did not believe Ngozi. They knew that Ngozi was jealous of Ayin, and they suspected that Ngozi was the one who had cast that spell. The parents decided to keep Ayin away from Ngozi. The father sent her to live with her auntie, who was a healer and a herbalist in a faraway village called Obodi. Ayin spent 3 months in her auntie's house healing. After the fourth month, luckily for her, she eventually recovered from the spell. But after she recovered, she refused to go back home. She preferred staying in her auntie's house, where she could be free from her troubles and mysterious deeds. One morning, while Anyim was going to the market to buy some food stuff for her auntie, she met a very handsome man who was a prince and the son of a king in Obudi village. Man came after Anyim, and as he asked him he would love to be her friend, Anyim accepted. After 2 weeks, the prince invited Anyim to his kingdom and showed her around his palace. Anyim was so astonished to see how beautiful his palace, and they became lovers. Finally, the prince fell in love with Anyim and decided to marry Anyim. Anyim traveled back to her hometown to tell her parents about her new suitor, who could be coming to their house to ask her hand in marriage and pay her bride price. When their parents heard this news, they were filled with happiness and they were overjoyed. However, Ngozi was very unhappy. She began plotting how to stop the marriage. First, she started with making troubles, saying she was the older sibling. "I could never allow Anyim, who was my younger sibling, to get married before me." Her parents tried to stop her and make her see reasons why it wasn't a bad idea to let her younger sister marry before her, but Ngozi felt cheated. She made a very dangerous plan for her sister, and she decided to use Anyim's weakness against her. On the day Anyim was to get married, that fateful morning, as the marriage preparation was going on, Ngozi pretended to be happy, went to meet her sister Anyim with a fake smile on her face. She called her a sweet pet name, Nne. Then she said to her that there are so beautiful surprises that she has prepared for her. Anyim was excited and can't wait to see the gift. She asked her, "Where are they?" She replied, "I kept them along the village stream. Come along with me to the village stream. I will show you so many wonders." Anyim replied, "Can't you get these surprises here? I can't go out to the village stream. I am already dressed for my marriage ceremony. I am sorry, Ngozi, I can't come along with you to the village stream." But Ngozi surprisingly made her believe everything was under control. She meant no harm. Anyim became suspicious of her sister. She knew how mischievous her sister can be. On a second thought, she thought there was no reason for her to be too careful of her only sister, so she decided to go along with her. They immediately hurried up and began their journey to the village river. Along the way, Ngozi came up with the strategic idea to lure her sister far away from the village river, to rather a very dangerous forest where no one could hear or see her when she carries out her dangerous acts. So she decided to lie to her sister. She said to her, "Ever since she left, the village authority has banned people from walking through the village stream, and also that she has something beautiful she wants to show her at the village forest." Anyim's very surprised and a bit suspicious about her sister, Anyim asked her, but where do people fetch water if they are not allowed to pass through the village stream routine? Ngozi told her, from the river inside the forest. Anyim, but the place is dangerous. Why would anyone go there? Ngozi told her. That was where all the villagers fetch water and nothing happened to them. Ngozi was able to convince Anyim because she has given away for long and had no idea what has been happening. So Ayin believed her sister and started embarking on a journey to the village forest river. When they go to a certain spot, Ngozi saw a lake inside the forest. She said to herself, it will be very easier if I push her into the lake. Ngozi went close to the lake, told her sister to come and see the surprise. As Anyim approached to the lake, she jumped into the water with sister and made her push her into the deeper side of the lake. She knew Anyim's weakness. Anyim doesn't know how to swim. She took advantage of that and pushed her deeper into the deeper side of the lake and left her sister there. Back at the village, preparation was seen going and her mom and mother were busy. They never noticed the disappearance of Ayin. Ngozi arrived at the village. When she got home, she sneaked into Ayin's room, which was meant to be the bride's room. She dressed up herself like the bride and pretended to be the Ayin. She made her hairstyle looked exactly like that of her sister, and that's because her and her sister look much alike. No one was able to recognize that it wasn't Ayin. When she stepped out of at the hall, the prince was a bit skeptical about her. She asked how come Anyim's added so much waste, but he never told that she looked so much alike like Anyim, and Anyim never told the prince that she had a sister. So it was difficult for the prince to know it wasn't her. Back at the forest, Anyim was still inside the lake. Luckily for her, she was floating on the surface of the water. She was able to surprise there. Anyim kept screaming loudly and crying out for help, but fortunately for her, a farmer who plants rice by the side of the river heard her screaming. He traced the sound of her voice and found her inside the lake. He rescued her and he asked how she found herself inside the water, but Ayin told him she was pushed into the water by her sister. The farmer took pity upon Anyim and took her back to the village, to a point where Anyim could be able to recognize the road to her house. By the time Anyim got home, the ceremony has already ended. It was almost time for Ngozi and Prince to leave. When Anyim barged into the scene, she saw her sister wearing a veil and the bridal clothing made for her. When the prince saw Anyim, he realized that the woman he was about to take home was not Anyim, his wife. He became furious and asked that Ngozi should be locked up in a prison for deceiving him. Anyim burst into tears and narrated how Ngozi betrayed her. Ngozi knew that this time she was not going to escape the punishment from her parents. She tried to run, but she was captured by the village youth and was imprisoned by the king of Iwu. Anyim's parents were disappointed, and she can do such evil acts to her only sister. Finally, Ayin got married to the prince, while Ngozi rot in the king's prison. After 2 months, she was finally banished from Iwu kingdom. Ayin never forgive her sister for what she has done to her. The end. Thanks for watching.